Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I did this cool geode. I used the colors Avalon, Fire on the Mountain, and this is called Stonehenge. No, it's not. It's called Darkside of the Moon. These two colors, the Fire on the Mountain and the Dark Side of the Moon, are both special edition colors, but they are similar to like a Stonehenge, Timberwolf kind of a color, and like a coral kind of a color. So anyway, it turned out really cool. I'll show you how I did it. Let's get into it. So you're gonna start by grabbing a random part of your shirt here, and you're gonna wrap your waxed sinew around 3 to 5 times. You could do it more too if you want. Then you're just going to pull it really tight with your sinew puller. For my sinew puller here, I'm just using a PVC pipe that I cut down to size. And that just gives you a little bit of leverage to make sure that it's really tight. And the good thing about waxed sinew is you don't need to like tie anything off. You don't need to tie a knot or anything. So when it comes time to rinse it out, you just unwrap it. And I'll show you that whole process too in my rinse out process here coming up. So you're just going to keep wrapping and creating those nodules and those circles. You don't want it to be perfect circles, so you're going to kind of, as you can see, they're kind of misshapen little clumps. That's going to make sure that it looks a little more organic than just concentric circles. All right, so then I am just adding ice on top of my fabric here. I put it in these magic tracks to keep it in place on top of a cookie rack, on top of a cake pan. I should also mention that this shirt was soaked in soda ash before I started, which is an important step to make sure that this fiber reactive dye bonds to your fabric. So the first color I used is Avalon. Then the next color I used was Fire on the Mountain. This was a very specialized special edition color. It's not my favorite. I don't hardly use it at all, but it is kind of like an orangey pink. This was a custom order. Somebody specifically requested this color, so that's why I used it here. And then the other color I used was Dark Side of the Moon. This is just like a gray charcoal-y color. All right, so I let the ice melt and then I let it sit for at least 24 hours. Usually it ends up being about 48 for me. And here I'm just rinsing it out as best I can, getting out as much excess dye as I can. You can see I literally just unravel that sinew, and that's how I untie the project. So I'm rinsing in cool water. And then once I feel like the water is relatively clear, I bump the water up to hot. And when the water is on hot, you'll see even more excess dye coming out of the shirt. After I do that, I grab some Dawn dish soap and I squirt that all over and I get it really sudsy, and that gets out even more excess dye. Then I wash it in my washing machine on hot. And I use Dyer's detergent, which is an optional step. I just sell my stuff, so I want to make sure that all of the excess dye is really out. So here is that final result. Turned out kind of cool, kind of a unique colorway. So if you have any questions or anything, reach out to me. Let's talk. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please comment below. I love to answer all sorts of questions. Also in the link below, there is a free printable just for you, 12 of my very favorite folds. It's an ebook written out just for you. All I need is your email and I'll send it right to your email. I also have an Etsy store. If you liked what was in this video, it might already be gone, but there might be something else that you love in my store. So check that out. Thank you so much for supporting me. We'll see you next time.